There is one truth that stands firm no matter what life throws at us. The only thing we truly control is how we react. Everything else, the words spoken by others, the actions they take, the circumstances we find ourselves in, is often outside our hands. But how we respond, how we decide to carry ourselves in the face of hurt, disappointment, or insult, that remains ours and ours alone. This is a truth many overlook, especially when emotions rise and the heat of the moment demands a reaction. The instinct to defend, to lash back, to prove ourselves right is natural. But natural doesn't always mean wise. The power to choose silence over words, patience over impulse, calm over chaos, that is a power worth mastering, because it is the power that protects your peace and your dignity. Think for a moment about the last time someone said something that hurt you deeply. Maybe it was a careless comment, an unfair criticism, or even a deliberate insult. How did you respond? Did your heart race? Did anger swell inside, pushing you to reply immediately? If so, you are not alone. That urge to react is a part of our survival wiring, the human fight or flight response kicking in. But unlike a wild animal fighting for its life, we are gifted with the capacity for reflection. We can pause, we can think, we can choose. And here's the vital part. Choosing your reaction is choosing your power. When you give in to the immediate need to respond, you surrender that power. You hand it over willingly to the person who hurt you, allowing their words and actions to shape your emotions, your thoughts, your day, even your life. But when you hold your reaction, when you choose not to respond impulsively, something remarkable happens. You take back control. You say to yourself, no one will make me angry unless I allow it. You stop being a puppet to external forces and become the master of your inner world. It's not easy, of course. The first moments after being hurt can feel like a storm raging inside. Your mind races, your blood boils, your instincts scream for justice or retaliation. But these moments are temporary, and if you can hold steady just a little longer, clarity begins to break through. You realize that your immediate reaction may solve nothing. It might even make things worse. Imagine the power in choosing calm instead. Imagine a situation where someone insults you, but instead of answering back, you breathe deeply, count to 10, or simply say nothing. You maintain your composure. That composure sends a quiet, unshakable message. You are in control. You are not easily shaken. You rise above the petty noise. This kind of control is magnetic. People respect those who keep their cool under pressure. They admire those who don't give in to anger or pain with every slight or offense. You become someone who commands presence simply by the way you handle yourself when others lose theirs. More than that, controlling your reaction protects your inner peace. Anger, hurt, and bitterness are heavy burdens to carry around. They weigh on your heart, cloud your mind, and steal your joy. But when you refuse to react impulsively, you refuse to carry those burdens any longer than necessary. You create space for healing, understanding, and strength. There is a famous saying, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. When you react angrily, you are the one who suffers most. Your energy is drained, your focus is broken, your relationships, your work, your health, all can suffer when you let hurt dictate your behavior. But by controlling your reaction, you protect yourself from this slow poison. You choose peace over chaos. You choose growth over destruction. And you set a foundation for a stronger, more resilient you. This is not about pretending to be unaffected or suppressing your feelings. It is about recognizing that feeling hurt or angry is natural, but reacting in ways that harm yourself or others is not necessary. You can acknowledge your emotions internally while choosing a response that serves your long-term well-being. In fact, mastering this power can change your life in profound ways. When you decide not to react to every jab or insult, you become less reactive in other areas too. You gain patience. You develop emotional intelligence. You learn to see people's actions through a lens of understanding rather than judgment. And here's another truth: when you do not react, you sometimes leave your opponents frustrated because they have lost their leverage over you. They have nothing to feed on. Your silence, your calmness can be louder and more powerful than any angry reply. So the next time you feel hurt or attacked, remember, you have a choice. You have the power to decide your reaction. That power belongs to you and no one else. Protect it, guard it, use it wisely. Because your reaction is not just a momentary impulse. It is the foundation of your character, your peace, and your freedom. When someone hurts you, whether with words or actions, it's easy to take it personally. It can feel like a direct attack on your value, your character, your very being. Your mind races, questioning, what did I do wrong? Am I not enough? Why do they treat me this way? But here lies a profound truth, one that can transform the way you view every painful encounter. When others hurt you, it reflects their weakness, not your worth. People who hurt others are often battling storms within themselves. Behind their harsh words or harmful deeds lies pain, insecurity, fear, or frustration they have not learned to manage. When someone lashes out at you, it is rarely about you as you think it is. It is about the battle they are fighting inside their own heart and mind. Imagine a person who has been wounded deeply by life, maybe by failure, loss, or rejection. That wound, if left untreated, can grow into bitterness or anger, and when bitterness builds, it needs an outlet. Often that outlet is the people around them, those close enough to feel the brunt of their inner pain. So when they hurt you, it's not a mirror of who you are, it's a window into their struggles. They project their darkness outward because they haven't yet found the light inside themselves to heal. Their pain spills over, but it does not define you. Understanding this shifts the burden from your shoulders. You stop carrying the weight of their pain, confusion, or cruelty as if it were your fault. Instead, you recognize it as their burden, heavy and messy, but theirs to carry alone. This realization brings freedom. It allows you to separate your identity from the actions of others. You are not the sum of their judgments or insults. You are not diminished by their attempts to hurt you. Your worth is inherent, unshaken by external voices. Think about it. If a stranger on the street shouted at you, you might shrug it off easily. But when the hurt comes from someone you care about, a family member, a friend, a colleague, it stings deeper. It's natural to feel betrayed or confused. But if you can see beyond the surface, you will find that their hurtful behavior often comes from their own unresolved pain. This perspective does not mean you accept mistreatment or allow yourself to be walked over. It means you refuse to internalize the damage. You hold on to your dignity and self-respect, knowing that the source of the hurt lies within the other person's weakness, not your shortcomings. It's important to remember that everyone has a story you don't fully know. The neighbor who snaps at you might be carrying burdens you've never seen. The colleague who undermines you may be insecure about their own abilities. The friend who betrays your trust may be lost in confusion or fear. Their actions reveal more about them than about you. This understanding cultivates empathy, but not weakness. It allows you to respond with strength, not retaliation. When you see hurt coming from weakness, you can choose patience instead of anger. You can choose compassion instead of resentment. And in choosing compassion, you actually empower yourself. You break free from the cycle of hurt and reaction that traps so many people. You reclaim your peace by refusing to be the battlefield for someone else's war. There is also a deeper, more powerful effect of holding this truth in your heart. It fuels your confidence. When you know your worth does not depend on others' approval or treatment, you stand taller. You no longer bend or break under their words. You become a fortress of self-respect, unshaken by the storms of negativity around you. This truth has practical power. It transforms your relationships. Instead of reacting in fear or defensiveness, you respond with calm and clarity. You communicate your boundaries clearly without anger. You forgive more easily because you understand that people hurt others because they are hurting. Consider the freedom that comes with this shift, no longer waiting for others to validate you, no longer drowning in the hurt caused by their flaws. You stop wasting your energy trying to fix someone else's weaknesses. Instead, you focus on your own growth and healing. And when you focus on yourself, your goals, your dreams, your peace, you attract people who value and respect you. You surround yourself with those who lift you up, not tear you down. You create a life where your worth is reflected, not by others' opinions, but by your own belief in yourself. Remember, hurting others is a sign of weakness, not strength. It's a scream from a soul that needs healing, not a judgment on your character. When you learn to see this clearly, you protect your heart from unnecessary pain. You hold your head high, knowing your worth is untouched by their storm. This perspective is a shield, invisible, but impenetrable. It guards your peace, your confidence, and your joy. And it allows you to live boldly, without fear of being hurt by the weakness of others. There is something about pain that feels urgent, like it demands a response right now before it swells too big to handle. When someone hurts you, the first instinct is often to react immediately, to lash out, defend yourself, or push back. This impulse feels natural, almost unavoidable. But here is a truth that can change everything. Reacting impulsively only prolongs your pain. When you react in the heat of the moment, your emotions are raw and your judgment clouded. Anger, hurt, frustration all rush in, demanding release. In those moments, the mind becomes a storm, and your response is often dictated by that emotional tempest rather than clear thought. The words you speak or actions you take in such a state rarely bring the relief you hope for. Instead, they fan the flames of your suffering. Think about a time when you reacted impulsively to being hurt. Maybe you snapped at someone, sent a sharp message, or held on to bitterness and resentment. Did that reaction ease your pain? Or did it cause more tension, regret, or even new wounds? The truth is, quick reactions often create a cycle, a back and forth, where hurt leads to anger, anger leads to retaliation, and retaliation leads to deeper pain. This cycle traps you in the moment of hurt, making it feel endless. Instead of healing, you become stuck, reliving the offense over and over through your reactions. Your mind replays the moment, your heart clenches tighter, and the pain stretches on far longer than it needs to. The power lies in choosing a different path, one where you do not react immediately but allow space for your emotions to settle. This space is not empty or weak, it is the ground where clarity grows. When you take a step back and breathe, you give yourself a chance to see the situation with fresh eyes, eyes not clouded by rage or sorrow, but filled with understanding. It's important to recognize that feeling hurt or angry is natural. These feelings deserve to be acknowledged, but they don't need to be acted upon instantly. By resisting the urge to react impulsively, you create a pause, a moment where reason can rise above emotion. And in that moment, you regain control. The longer you give yourself to process the hurt, the more the intensity diminishes. What seemed overwhelming in the heat of the moment becomes manageable with time. The sharp edge of pain softens. Your mind becomes less fixated on the offense and more focused on how to move forward. This pause also protects your relationships. Impulsive reactions can damage trust and connection. Words said in anger or hurt can't always be taken back, but when you hold your reaction, you preserve the possibility of understanding and reconciliation. You show respect not only for others, but also for yourself by choosing responses that build rather than break down. Reacting impulsively doesn't just harm others, it harms you most of all. It drains your energy, clouds your thinking, and robs you of peace. It keeps you trapped in a loop of negativity. But when you choose patience, you reclaim your power. You decide the pace of your healing and the narrative of your story. There is a strength in self-control that many misunderstand. It is not weakness or submission, it is courage. The courage to face your pain without losing yourself to it. It's the quiet bravery of saying, I will not let this hurt define me or destroy me. This kind of strength builds resilience, the ability to withstand future storms without breaking. Moreover, when you resist reacting impulsively, you open the door to growth. You begin to see each hurtful moment as an opportunity to practice patience, self-awareness, and emotional mastery. You learn that pain is temporary, but the wisdom gained from how you handle it can last a lifetime. Imagine your emotional life like a river. If you react impulsively, you stir up the sediment, making the water murky and hard to see through. But if you wait and let the river settle, the water clears and you gain a true view of what lies beneath. This clarity guides your decisions and actions, leading to better outcomes. Choosing not to react right away also teaches those around you something valuable. It shows that you are grounded, that you cannot be easily shaken. It sets a tone of calm strength, encouraging others to approach you with respect and thoughtfulness rather than aggression. In every moment where you resist the impulse to react, you reinforce a pattern of peace over chaos, thoughtfulness over rashness, healing over harm. This pattern becomes a part of who you are, shaping your character and your life story. Pain will come, hurt will arrive unexpectedly, but how you respond will determine whether that pain controls you or strengthens you. The moment you stop reacting impulsively, you begin to reclaim your life. You turn pain from a prison into a teacher. There is a deep natural urge inside every human being when hurt is inflicted, the desire for revenge. When someone wounds us, it feels almost instinctive to want to fight back, to even the score, to make them feel the pain they caused. It seems like justice, like balance. But there is a timeless truth that goes against this instinct. Peace is found in forgiveness, not revenge. Revenge is a trap. It promises relief but delivers only more pain. When you choose revenge, you are giving your energy, your focus, your life to the person who hurt you. You are tethering your peace to the actions of someone else, allowing their offense to dictate your emotions and your future. It keeps you bound to the past, trapped in a cycle of bitterness and resentment. Forgiveness, on the other hand, is the key to freedom. Forgiveness is not about forgetting the hurt or pretending it never happened. It is not about excusing the actions of those who caused pain. It is a deliberate choice, a powerful act of self-love and self-preservation. When you forgive, you break the chains that bind you to the offense. You release the heavy burden of anger and pain. You take back control of your heart and mind. Forgiveness allows you to reclaim your life from the shadow of hurt. It opens a door to peace, a peace that revenge can never offer. Revenge multiplies pain. Forgiveness multiplies healing. When you choose to forgive, you step into a higher realm of strength and maturity. You show the world and yourself that your peace is not dependent on others' actions, but on your own courage to let go. Many struggle with forgiveness because they misunderstand it. They see forgiveness as weakness or surrender. But in reality, forgiveness is one of the bravest things you can do. It takes courage to face your pain, to confront your anger, and to decide that you will not let it define or destroy you. It takes strength to forgive when the wound is fresh and raw. It takes wisdom to understand that holding on to resentment only harms you. And the most beautiful thing is this: forgiveness does not just free you, it transforms you. It softens your heart, heals your soul, and elevates your spirit. It creates space for compassion, empathy, and growth. It allows you to move forward unburdened by the weight of past hurts. Which brings us to the next truth. Your growth lies beyond their hurtful words. Every insult, every slight, every betrayal, these are not the final story of who you are. They are chapters in a book that you hold the pen to write. Those hurtful words are not the limit of your identity. They are opportunities to rise. When someone speaks harshly to you or treats you unfairly, it is easy to believe those words, to let them shape your self-picture. But you must remember, words have power only if you give it to them. You are more than the opinions or judgments others cast upon you. Your true value is not measured by the things people say when they want to wound or control. Growth happens when you refuse to let those words define you. It happens when you take a step back, look at the hurt and say, this is not who I am. I am stronger. I am worthy. I am growing. It is in these moments of resistance that your character is forged. The trials you face become the very things that make you more resilient, more compassionate, more whole. Imagine your life as a garden. The hurtful words are like weeds, unwanted, invasive, trying to choke out the beautiful flowers inside you, but you have the power to uproot those weeds, to tend your garden with care and patience. With each act of self-love and growth, your garden blooms brighter, richer, and more vibrant than ever before. This growth is not always easy or quick. It requires patience with yourself, a willingness to heal, and the strength to keep moving forward even when the past threatens to pull you back. But every step you take beyond their hurtful words is a victory, a testament to your resilience and your spirit. And growth is not just about surviving pain, it's about thriving despite it. It's about turning hurt into wisdom, bitterness into kindness, and pain into purpose. When you rise above what was said or done to you, you claim your life back with boldness and grace. Your journey of growth also inspires others. When people see you respond to hurt with strength and forgiveness, they learn that it is possible to live beyond pain. You become a beacon of hope and courage, showing that life's hardest blows do not have to break us, they can build us. In every challenge, in every moment of hurt, remember, peace is found not in revenge, but in forgiveness. Your true power lies in choosing healing over hatred, compassion over anger, and your greatest growth will come not from avoiding pain, but from rising above it, stronger, wiser, and more alive than ever. One of the most liberating truths you can embrace is this: your peace depends on your response, not their actions. It is a principle that holds immense power because it puts you in control. No matter what anyone says or does to you, the choice of how you respond is always yours. And that choice determines whether you live in turmoil or tranquility. When someone hurts you, it's natural to feel shaken, angry, or upset. Those feelings are valid. They are part of being human. But the moment you allow their actions to dictate your emotional state, you hand over your peace to someone else. Suddenly your happiness, your calm, your very sense of self is dependent on how they treat you. And this is a dangerous place to live. People will always act according to their own nature, sometimes with kindness, sometimes with cruelty. You cannot control their behavior, but you can control how you let it affect you. The power lies not in changing others, but in mastering your own heart and mind. Imagine your peace as a precious garden inside you. The actions of others are like weather, sometimes sunny, sometimes stormy. You cannot control the weather, but you can choose how you protect your garden. You can build fences, tend your soil, and nurture your plants so that they withstand the storms. In the same way, you can develop an inner strength that shelters your peace, no matter the external chaos. When you respond with calmness rather than anger, with understanding rather than bitterness, you keep your garden flourishing. You refuse to let the storms of others' hurtful actions destroy your inner world. This is not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is fine. It's about choosing peace over chaos. This choice is a daily practice. It requires mindfulness and courage. It means pausing before reacting, reflecting on what truly matters, and deciding what you want to carry forward in your heart. It means recognizing that your value and your peace are not tied to someone else's behavior. This mindset transforms your life. It frees you from the exhausting cycle of trying to control or change others. Instead, you focus on what you can control: your responses, your emotions, your attitude. And with that focus comes peace, clarity, and strength. Now this brings us naturally to the final and perhaps most powerful point. Choose strength by rising above the hurt. There will always be moments when others hurt you, sometimes intentionally, sometimes unknowingly. But true strength is not measured by how you react in anger or retaliation. It is measured by your ability to rise above the pain, to stand tall despite the wounds, and to keep moving forward with grace and dignity. Rising above hurt means refusing to be defined or diminished by it. It means seeing yourself as bigger than the pain, stronger than the offense, and wiser than the conflict. It is a conscious decision to hold your head high, even when your heart feels heavy. Strength is found in resilience, the ability to bounce back from hardship. But resilience is not about ignoring hurt or pretending it doesn't exist. It is about acknowledging your pain fully, allowing yourself to feel, to cry, to grieve, and then choosing to heal and grow. This strength also comes from self-respect. When you honor yourself enough to refuse bitterness, revenge, or despair, you declare your own worth. You send a message to the world, and more importantly to yourself, that you will not be broken by what others do to you. Rising above hurt also means embracing hope. It means believing that better days are ahead, that your journey is not over, and that the best parts of your story are yet to come. This hope fuels your strength and keeps you moving forward even when the path is steep and painful. Consider the people you admire, those who have faced tremendous challenges and yet continue to inspire. What sets them apart is not the absence of hurt, but their refusal to be defeated by it. They rise above their pain and use it as fuel to build something greater. Wisdom, compassion, courage. You too have this strength within you. It is waiting to be awakened every time hurt tries to pull you down. Every time someone tries to wound you with their words or actions, you have the choice. Sink or rise. Choose to rise. Rising above the hurt also creates space for joy, love, and peace in your life. When you carry less resentment and anger, you free your heart to experience the good things more deeply. Your relationships improve, your mindset brightens, and your spirit soars. And when you rise above hurt, you become a source of inspiration for others. Your strength encourages those around you to face their own pain with courage. Your story becomes a testament to the power of resilience and grace. Remember, strength is not the absence of pain. It is the presence of courage in spite of pain. It is the quiet voice that says, I will not be defined by what hurt me. It is the steady hand that reaches out for healing rather than harm. So as you navigate the inevitable moments of hurt in life, remind yourself, your peace depends on your response, not their actions. And you always have the power to choose strength by rising above the hurt, becoming not a victim of circumstances, but a victor of your own soul. So what does it mean to never react when someone hurts you? It means taking back your power. It means refusing to be a prisoner to the actions of others and instead becoming the master of your own emotions. It means understanding that true strength is found not in retaliation or bitterness, but in patience, forgiveness, and rising above the pain. When you refuse to react impulsively, you break the chains that bind you to endless cycles of hurt. When you choose peace over revenge, you open your heart to healing and freedom. When you recognize that your growth lies beyond their words and actions, you claim your worth and your future. And when you remember that your peace depends on your response, not their offense, you become unstoppable. You have within you the strength to rise above every wound, every harsh word, every moment of betrayal. You are more than the pain inflicted upon you. Your spirit is unbreakable when you decide it is. The journey won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. So the next time someone tries to hurt you, pause, breathe. Choose your response with intention. Choose your peace. Choose your strength. Choose to rise. Because in that choice lies your freedom, your growth, your peace, and the life you were meant to live.